anyone there yet? Maybe I gave bad directions. Hello? Anybody? Oh, wonderful. I was getting worried. So, here's the situation. You need to get into the vault. I need to get out. This door isn't intended for easy access, so it'll require joint authorization from both sides to open. I'm on this side and authorized. You're on that side and not authorized. But no worries. I've got a plan. All of the Lost were once members of the Vault and should have authorization. You just need to get a hold of a hand and scan it. Easy peasy. That's right. Just a bit of post-mortem amputation and we'll be set. Just scan the hand once you've got it. I'll be on standby. Promise. Time's a ticking. Chop chop! Ooh, sorry. Anyway, I gotta run, but I'll be back. Scan a hand! Bye!
Oh good, you're here! And you're not lost, I assume. If you are, say so, because that would be a major breakthrough. I'm a bit too busy for that, but someone inside would be very happy to answer all of your questions. Anyway, I'm Hilda Stoltz. Hi. I'm head of the organic sector, which is exactly where I'm about to run off to. But don't worry, my Uncle Hugo is very eager to meet you. Just down the hall, in the Overseer's office, as he is the Overseer. Oh, and I've disabled the two-step lock, so coming and going should be easier now. Anyway, like I said, Uncle Hugo, down the hall. Toodaloo!
Willkommen, bitte komm rein. My niece told me to expect you, and do not mind my appearance. I can assure you I mean no harm. Can the same be said of you, though, outsider? Do you intend to harm us?
Science, and discoveries, and news.
My niece can be a bit forceful when she finds a carrot to chase. You have my word, though. You haven't chased your carrot into a trap. Where are my manners? I did not mean to be so standoffish. You are a most welcome guest here. I cannot be too careful. It has been a long time since we've spoken with anyone from the surface. Ah, fascinating. Is that the faint clicking of a Pip-Boy I hear? How grand. A colleague from another paradise below the ground. Vault 76, I take it? What a pleasant surprise. What a pleasant surprise. Wunderbar. Kismet even. We are having fun now, aren't we? Listen, my new friend. Regardless of what pretenses my dear niece may have brought you here with, I believe I can repay you for your effort.
We felt the whole vault shaking a while back.
No catch. Just opportunity. As you may have ventured to guess on your trip here, our beloved Shenandoah has seen better days. Less stormy days. I'm in the midst of trying to get this under control, but our vault is still in a bit of a state of shock. If you'd be willing to engage in a bit of freelance work, I'm sure I can provide plenty of payment in kind. As they say, lies have short legs, no? Rest assured, you'll see this is quite the legitimate operation we have here. Perhaps I should introduce myself to assuage any hesitation you have. I am Hugo Stoltz, Overseer of Vault 63, yes, but also a principled man of business from the world of yore. founder and CEO of Stolz Enterprises, respected member of Vault-Tech's board of directors, and overall international man of mystery. Allow me to formally welcome you to Vault 63 as our, let's say, outside consultant. Yes, that'll do perfectly.
Around the mansion. I wonder how that happened.
Oh, please. Hugo is just fine. Now, I'm sure you have many questions. I would expect no less, but I promise your first task will help you answer much. Speak with our Chief of Security, James T. Oberlin, and fetch me his latest situation report. I'd like to have him vet you a bit before we proceed any further. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer questions for you about our current predicament while you're at it. Oh, please. Hugo is just fine. Now, I'm sure you have many questions. I would expect no less, but I promise your first task will help you answer much. Speak with our Chief of Security, James T. Oberlin, and fetch me his latest situation report. I'd like to have him vet you a bit before we proceed any further. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer questions for you about our current predicament while you're at it. So curious. I love your enthusiasm. I knew I was right about you. Go on, then.
You know, condition. Anything I can look at for you today? Any signs of the condition? Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
What are you planning, Stolz? Been expecting you. James T. Oberlin, Chief of Security, Vault 63. Formerly United States Army. Ordinarily, an outsider would report directly to the security offices. But as you've seen, Mr. Stolz isn't fond of ordinary. How exactly did you end up on our doorstep, outsider? And you were able to dispose of them. Interesting. Must mean you have some combat training. That could be helpful. Well, considering I'm entirely lacking any sort of credentials or background on you, perhaps you can fill me in on your history.
Shame we don't have the workforce.
At least you're honest.
Place up a little.
Mr. Stolz buzzed me ahead of your arrival and filled me in on the situation. Sorry for the test, but wanted to see how you'd present yourself. I appreciate your attempt to take this seriously, but I won't say I don't have my doubts. Let's see how this plays out, though. Here's my status report for Mr. Stolz. You're dismissed. Unless you have a...
You know, before the accident. What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our...
Supplies are starting to dwindle a little,
You know,
even with the stockpile from the supply runs. You know, cold storms.
it's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little. The new animals up there.
Ah,
Any of
you've
them
returned.
good for eating?
I've just been thinking on some things.
What's up?
Spruce this place up a little.
The new animals up there. Any of them good for eating? You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know,
before the accident.
What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our...
Eyes are starting to dwindle a little.
You know,
even with the stockpile from the supply runs. Cold storms.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little. The new animals up there.
Ah,
Any
you've
of them
returned.
good for eating.
I've just been thinking on some things. Yes, that. Don't worry about that now. I have a question for you. Tell me, are we our brains? Oh, heavens, no. Nothing quite so supernatural. Consciousness, perception, encoding and the formation of memories. To take the observable world and sculpt from it a translation of ourselves, of others. And in the eyes of others, how many versions of us exist? What's that? Oh! I have completely gone off the rails. I apologize. You have the spirit of an old friend about you. I've forgotten there's much new ground to tread between us. I may have failed to mention this before, but I am or was blind. Born that way. After the incident that left me in this state, I became able to truly see the world. Well, perhaps it's more accurate to say, I feel the world. Pulses of electricity, waves bending and refracting, gentle hums of life vibrating shapes into being. This world I see, I share it with the lost. I live as they do, yet I remain myself. Perhaps more myself than I was before. But others were lost to it, and to us. Friends, colleagues, loved ones. When they witness this world, they're minded... Well, I suppose I cannot explain what their mind perceives, just as one could never explain sight to me before. We have been trying to learn why this connection was permanently severed between us. Desperately so. I appreciate your condolences. It has been a very long time since I've spoken to someone who doesn't share this grief with me. All of this is to say we need your help, my friend. There are many problems at our feet, and you are uniquely equipped to help us. Thank you. That truly means the world to me. Let's discuss next steps. There's 2 sets of investigations I'd have you undertake. Your new friend Oberlin can fill you in on one, and I'd be happy to walk you through the other. Take a moment to relax and process. Speak with either of us when you're ready to hear the details. And once again, I cannot contain my excitement in having you on board. Willkommen im Team, mein Freund. So, shall we begin? There are some tasks that I'm unequipped to handle myself, and I need your assistance. Excellent. As you've hopefully been made aware by now, the source of the weather phenomenon outside is a device that is under our control. Or rather, the lack thereof. Control, that is. In order to solve this error, we'll need to acquire the weather machine's blueprints. They are in the wall safe just over there.
Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system, and it works, damn it.
If only it were that simple. The safe can only be opened with a key that my beloved wife Cassie has chosen to hide in a very secure location. So secure that only she knows where it is. This is problematic, as she has been unwell and unresponsive for quite some time. That said, she was a diligent note-keeper. I'm certain you could find out where she moved the key to if you were to search through her notes. You should find them all in our room upstairs. It is unlocked, so you should be able to just walk in. With my condition as it is, I'm unable to do this myself, and thus, my new friend, the task falls to you.
The new animals are...
You will? Oh, wie wunderbar. Best of luck.
I think the stress of everything is getting to her. Make it quick. I've been spread thin dealing with surface-side security concerns. My more menial tasks have started to slip through the cracks, however. I can tell you're equipped to handle much worse, but tackling some issues from my backlog would be of great service to me. At least as a start.
What if we go
There are
back
3 in
to the
particular who
surface?
often bring up issues to me.
Nobody wants
You can
to
start
know us
there.
because of our, condition.
There are 3 residents that have been complaining about a myriad of concerns. Margaret, Lawrence, and Julio. Your best bet is to track them down. They're likely lounging about waiting for someone else to handle the hard work. They should have more than enough to keep you busy for the time being. Report back when it's been handled. In the meantime, I have other matters I need to attend to, so please, if you'd excuse me.
Oh, a stranger. We haven't seen anyone from outside in a while. What brings you here? Chief Oberlin's finally getting around to dealing with this, huh? And sending in a stranger to boot. You must have it tough. Yeah, there's a few things we've brought up before. Most of it in the lower levels. Things like strange noises coming from the generator room. People are scared to go check it out in case one of the Lost are in there.
Oh, also, we have a huge rat problem in the storage room, as in, huge rats. Last time I was on a food run, something jumped right past me and snatched it. Damn near took my arm with it, too.
And, someone should probably take care of Alfie.
Yeah. Alfie was one of us, but his condition got worse until he got us to lock him in his room. He's probably lost his mind by now, but no one could bring themselves to do what needs to be done. You didn't know him, though. If there's anything you could do for him, we'd appreciate it.
No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
You can get to the lower levels from the elevators just over there. There's also a stairwell down just across the atrium that leads directly to the storage room. Good luck, and thank you.
Good luck down there, and, welcome to Vault 63.
What the hell are you doing in here? Get your filthy hands off her! What's that? Oh. I understand. I apologize. Truly. I'm just very protective of her, you know? She is my other half, and life is just not complete without her. Of course she has the key herself. I should have known. Apologies for the confusion. I often forget just how unusual my situation has become. I was born blind, and lived that way even after becoming a ghoul, as you put it. However, as I've mentioned, an accident at this facility altered me, not unlike the lost that wander the surface. I see the world in pulses, wavelengths, a universe of violent synaptic connections, carving out and outlining every object and person. Navigation is trivial for me now. I was able to spot you in these sacred grounds even from my office. To the lost, I imagine this vision is a curse, a terrifying cataractous cloud that distorts their world. To me, it is a new life. Needless to say, I don't find myself bumping into things while getting around the vault anymore. Yes, very well. If you would excuse me, I would like a moment with my wife. Come find me when you have the blueprints. I could...
New animals up there.
I believe you have something for me. Well, they're no good to me. Go deliver them to my daughter, Audrey. She's the one who's leading the effort to repair the weather machine. Oh, and before I forget, our conversation earlier, in Cassie's room. Water under the bridge, yes? I'm happy to hear it. Oh, and before you go off to Audrey, I would like you to indulge me in another thought exercise I've been meditating on. If you were to repair a ship by replacing it plank by plank, piece by piece, so much so that no single piece of wood from the original vessel remained, would you have a new ship? Or would it still be the original, only improved?
Lasted this long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
Interesting. If this is the case, then at what point does it become a different ship? After half of the planks? After the final part is replaced? Perhaps the rudder? Or mast? If we were to change piece by piece, at what point do we become something entirely new? Huck, one moment. Let's perhaps hold on an answer. I'd rather that linger with you a bit. And you have important business to attend to. Now, off with you to see Audrey. She's buried in her books in the meteorology sector. I hope you have some good hiking boots. It's quite the trek. Safe travels.
Arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something.
And then, welcome back. How are things going? We're sorry that you had to be the one to deal with all of that.
Yeah, it's good to know there are still people outside, especially people who are capable.
Thanks. We couldn't have done it ourselves. Is there anything we can do for you? Yeah. We'll spread the word that you are somewhat trustworthy. Thanks again for all the help. You're all right, outsider.
Well, you're back. I hope you have good news for me.
Seeing someone do
Well,
so much good
color
around
me
here.
surprised.
It's
Good
refreshing.
work. With that out of the way, I'll be able to focus on the more important matters, like dealing with the chaos going on outside of this vault. I don't suppose that those three had anything interesting to say while you were helping them? Looks like I may have to check in with our custodian Johnny later. He usually hears a thing or two, though I'd much rather people come to me than having to resort to gossip mills. Still, it can be hard for people to know who to trust. But enough about that. Now that you've helped me out, is there anything I can help you with? First, your reward. I'll arrange for something from our armory. I'm sure you'll find a good use for it in the future. I'm sure I'll...